And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, welcome. Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. That is our goal. 5 years on air, we've been helping you win in any marketplace. That is our goal. We're going to educate, entertain, enlighten, and we want to engage with you in an effort to help you win. No matter what you're facing out there, we're going to help you.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Save our hotline number in your phone because at some point you're going to need to reach out to our Consumer Advocate Hotline, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. Now you can call or text that line. Also hit us up on our website. A lot of information available for you, consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. All of their contact information's there. You can hit the contact form, send an email over directly to myself or my team, and we're going to make sure we get right back to you. And we've got a third way to connect here, a really cool way utilizing technology. Text REQB, like real estate quarterback, text REQB to 313131. And you're going to get some information back with our information about our real estate brokerage, Platinum MVP Realty, also our radio show. And we want to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Jake Alexander Financial. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. It's been a while. I was, I might be a little shaky, but I think if William will ever let me live it down, I think we'll be okay. So
you're good. You're good, man. Doing great stuff out there. So Alexander Financial, typically people think of the CPA game, but you're actually an enrolled agent, which is, in my mind, is better because you're in all 50 states now. You're enrolled with the IRS on a nationwide level.
Yep, we're federally recognized, so we can operate in any state from any state. We're federally recognized to represent any taxpayer on any tax matter. So
yeah, it's awesome. And I've seen you doing a lot of social media content as well. People can check out your videos on your page.
We've got some professionally made videos which are getting really good feedback. Working on a podcast and some other stuff too, getting the website completely redone. So that's our main focus. With us being able to attract clients all around the nation, like our online presence is super important to us. So,
nice. Yeah, that's really cool. Got a great team over there as well. And, doing awesome stuff. All right, we got William Crowley in the house, too. William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician. Welcome back in.
Hey, I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not nervous or nothing. I'm ready to go back.
Not scared, baby. Ready for the kickoff.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been here in a while either, though, but it's good to be back. Summer months, you want to take off, work on my tan.
Yeah, you got the tan going?
That's it, baby.
Yeah, baby. I got you.
And I'm riled up as well because the bankruptcy law, the court case. I want to talk about that a little bit.
So you're helping people improve their credit.
Oh, yeah. That's it, baby.
Credit improvement.
And teach them their rights, man. Teach them the rights about the Fair Credit Reporting Act, Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, aspects of Uniform Commercial Code, anything to help the consumer.
Helping consumers win in any marketplace. That is our goal here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So, yeah, we got some good stuff for you. Got a feel-good story of the week coming up. And I want to give a shout-out to our hotel partner on the beach, right on the Gulf of Mexico. Bilmar Beach Resort is a beautiful spot. If you haven't checked it out, you got to go say hello to the team over there. Great job, right on the Gulf of Mexico. Beautiful beaches, sandy beaches. They've got rooms for events. Just a really nice upgrade in renovation. Just recently done meeting rooms, the pool, restaurants on site. You got to check them out. Great food and gorgeous sunsets over at Bilmar Beach Resort on beautiful Treasure Island, St. Pete Beach area. Go say hello to the staff. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Bilmar Beach Resort over in Pinellas County. Beautiful spot to go hang out and catch a beautiful sunset.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
How's that spelled?
Second, Bilmar is Bilmar.
M-A-R.
Bilmar Beach Resort. Beautiful spot. And going over there this weekend, can't wait to check it out. Going to get on the boats, Freedom Boat Club, and hang out and enjoy some of this beautiful weather. Hopefully the red tide's not too crazy over there. But
I heard it is.
Let's talk business now. So Jake Alexander Financial, you're helping a wide array of sole proprietors, LLCs, business owners, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And you've been doing it for a while now, so you're helping them legally minimize the amount of taxes that they are legally obligated to pay.
Yeah, absolutely. The goal is to legally and morally pay the least amount of taxes possible. And so we do that from a number of different strategies, but IRS representation is a really big part of our business. And then one of the things I wanted to kind of breach today was the IRS just released the proposed regulations for the new Section 199A, which is, in layman's terms, there's a 20% deduction to qualified business income that owners of pass-through entities may be entitled to. So really good stuff. This is like one of the biggest changes to the tax code since like 1987 or something like that. And so some light reading. They just released a 184-page document, that outlines exactly how it works that we've been waiting for. So going through that stuff with a fine-tooth comb to ensure we're helping our clients legally and morally pay the least amount of taxes as possible.
Legally and morally, I like that. So this pass-through entities, those are going to be like an S corp, is that right?
Mainly S corps, yeah. Yep. It can be partnerships, sometimes LLCs, and there's a lot of stuff in the details too. But kind of the high-level overview is. Owners of these pass-through entities may be entitled to a 20% deduction right off the top of their net income. So there's your gross revenue, right, which is all the money your business brings in. Then you have all your deductions. That bottom number that you would typically pay taxes on, there's a 20% deduction from there automatically.
Wow.
Which is really cool, yeah. And so there's a lot of, the IRS is never going to make it simple. It's never black and white. There's a lot of gray area there where there's some income limitations and even some profession limitations that they may or may not be entitled to it. But we're in the process of brushing up 100% so we can hit the fourth quarter hard with some tax planning stuff for all of our clients.
Yeah, that's such a big part of it as well. The idea that we're all busy, we're pushing to get sales to build that top line number, that gross number, that revenue. Yeah, and I think a lot of times we forget as business professionals, parents. Soccer coaches, there's a lot of hats that we wear these days to actually sit down and prepare rather than waiting till that last minute rush.
Absolutely. Proactive is the name of the game. I tell people we want to start, as soon as possible. So third quarter, fourth quarter is really crunch time of when we want to prepare for next year.
Right.
So you can know what you're looking at. You're not caught off guard. And a lot of people get caught up in you pay taxes in arrears, right? So when you file in 2018, you're paying for what's already happened in 17. So let's prepare for that proactively. Let's not be reactive in the whole process.
Right. Yeah, that's a big point, is just being proactive in the process. What I want to ask you, because we have David Ringo, 3D Solar is a partner of ours now, and I always think about tax incentives for solar. Yeah. Are you seeing people take advantage of that, or have you looked at some of those rolling out?
Yeah, and there's some credits for improvements to your primary residence and stuff like that we see a little bit of. I think there was just some changes to that very recently. Honestly, I'd have to brush up to be 100% sure, but yeah, we do a fair amount of those too. Yep. I'd love to, you said he's a show partner now?
Yes, he is.
I'd love to meet him and kind of pick his brain on some of that stuff, actually. That would be a good referral for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that for sure. Great company, Fast 50. Or they were on the Fast 50, and they ranked number 12 in Tampa Bay Business Journal, Fast 50. Nice. 3D Solar, really cool.
3D Solar,
so because we love to think about these things on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're thinking about ways that consumers can, not only from a residential standpoint or commercial business, we're getting into health and nutrition more and more as well, with some of our other show partners as well. Cryogenics I'll talk about later in the show. But so what else are you seeing out there? What's important? Here we are, third quarter of 2018 already. It's like, wow, it's flown by.
I can't believe it. Yeah, so time goes by really fast. But the important thing is and I always go back to it, but it's the importance of good record keeping. So the books and financials for your business is in my opinion the most important thing you can have. So IRS representation, we bring on a lot of clients who are unfortunately going through audits and all kinds of crazy stuff. And my first question is, kind of to back up a little bit, it's like when you get audited by the IRS, and an audit really means prove it. Like, hey, we need to see proof of all the stuff you put on your tax returns.
Right. So
my first question when we sit down with a client is, okay, what kind of books and records do you have of all this kind of stuff? And you typically get the face of, it's not too good. So that's the most important thing, is to keep everything that you possibly can. have a bookkeeper, whether it's in-house or you hire an outside firm like us to manage that stuff for you, and just to have clean, concise records on everything that's going on. So.
Yeah. Keep a journal. Dad used to say, make sure you keep those cash receipts, especially.
Yeah, there you go.
If you're spending cash, you got to have a receipt on it.
Yep.
Otherwise, it didn't happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what percentage of clients would you say? I know it's kind of broad. But what percentage of people get audited?
It's a very low percentage. So there was some statistics released not too long ago. It's staggeringly low, like 3 or 4%. Yeah. So, and it's based on income too, right? So the lower the income, the lower the percentage. I think, and don't quote me on this, I'd have to go back and look, but under 100,000 net income is like less than 1%. Between 100 and 200 or 250 is like 2.5%. And so at the end of the day, your chances of getting audited are, you could say slim to none, I guess, but in the event it does happen, you need to have proof and have backup for everything that you have going on there.
Yeah.
So.
I've heard some stories of people, where they're just like, wow, what a stressful event it was. I got audited last year. It was super difficult.
No, absolutely. Going through the process is enough to make you want to pull your hair out,
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah, we got two of you guys here with
there you go.
the dome head.
He's just nervous. That's what happened to him. But, no.
Jake Alexander Financial. We want you reaching out to him. He's one of our show partners, longtime friend of the program. Alexander Financial. What's the website?
www.alexander.financial.
Alexander.financial. And it's got a great team over there, conveniently located right there in Largo.
Yep.
And can come out and meet with you at your business as well. I mean, he's very hands-on. Great networker, by the way. He's out in the community. And reach out. We'd love to help you and put you in touch with Jake Alexander Financial. All right, stay with us when we come back. More from our expert contributors and some more consumer advocate content. Stay with us.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Once
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. Also, a top listing agent, just recently selected in the top 1% of all real estate agents nationwide. Real excited about that news. And we are looking for agents on our team. We're looking for buyers, sellers, investors, people that want to get into the real estate market. We'd love to quarterback that next transaction for you. Quarterback introductions to our 80-plus show partners. We're going to help you win. And consumerqb.com. You can see links at our website, consumerqb.com, a plethora of information there. And also platinummvprealty.com is our real estate site. You can do a valuation on your current properties. You can search the whole entire MLS as well at platinummvprealty.com. And I want to give a shout out to Cryogenics in Palm Harbor. This is really cool. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but it's a cryo chamber. Basically, you walk in, it's putting negative, 100-degree gas on your body. Just really good for you. Super cool. They've got facials in there as well. All types of, cutting edge. Cryotherapy, everything from celluloma light therapy, cryogenics facials, whole body cryotherapy. I did it yesterday. It was really cool. And they've got these compression therapy as well, where you put on, you ever see those boots you put on and it kind of fills with air and it moves the blood around? Oh, yeah. Really good. They say it's great after a leg workout as well. But cryogenics, rejuvenation, and recovery. That's right cool. There in Palm Harbor. It's 34282 US Highway 19 North in Palm Harbor. And say hello to Patrick and his team. They do a great job over there at Cryogenics in Palm Harbor. All right, so we're back here in studio. We got Jake Alexander in the house, Alexander Financial, and also William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician. So we're going to talk with William now, talk a little bit about the credit improvement. Yeah. Sometimes people get issues with their credit. There's bankruptcy, sometimes, a lot of collections. But what we want them to know is that there's a way out. There's a way that they can, team up with one of the best in the area. And William Crowley, what say you, man?
Hey, what's going on? So the first thing I want to say is that we're not advocating that people don't pay their bills, okay? But we just want to say that, listen, the way the market is, it goes up and down. Sometimes people get hiccups on their credit report. So we're here to show you the laws and your rights as a consumer on how to address these issues in a legal capacity to help you get back on track. And I really don't believe that consumers just intentionally ruin their credit.
Right.
Some mishaps happen, the loss of job, loss of loved ones, major medical,
real estate foreclosures. That's loan mods.
Yeah. So that it happens. But what we want to do is we want to let people know, look, the Fair Credit Reporting Act was created by Congress in 1970 specifically to protect consumers against the so-called abuses of corporate America. The credit reporting agency specifically.
Okay.
So there's a new. I just got wind of this new law. It's been out for a while now, but I just want to address this here. It's not really a law. It's a court case, and they're talking about how bankruptcies can't be removed off the credit report. And I want to tell people, look, we're still going after bankruptcies like we do with anything else because we understand the importance of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We truly understand it from this perspective. That is there. Going after due process violations committed by the credit reporting agency. They're putting this information on credit reports. They have to verify it. It's not verified when the consumer signs a contract with the lender. We know that's true. But the information, once it gets to the credit reporting agency, in order for them to release it to the general public, they must verify it with the consumer as well. They can't just say, okay, well, we see this information. It's coming from the court. It's coming from the President of the United States, wherever. The consumer still has to be contacted. Is this information true and correct? I mean, is there any mishaps, any problems with it? Is it all accurate information? And we know that the credit reporting agencies are not doing that. They're not verifying this information with the consumer. It's an assumption. And the consumer's allowing this to really progress like it does.
Perpetuate. Let me stop you right there. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act, 1970, one of the provisions in that act is that regardless of a collection of bankruptcy being reported directly to the credit bureau, basically credit repositories, right? They technically, in that FCRA, they have to confirm it with the homeowner or the
with
citizen,
the consumer. Yeah,
the
with
consumer.
The consumer. Right. It has to be because, what sense does it make? I mean, the credit reporting agency is receiving the information. If they're going to just tuck it away and keep it in their files, okay, that's great. But if they're going to start selling this information, distributing it across the world, then all parties have to be notified. So when you go into court, right, as an individual, the prosecution, there's defense, and the judge is going to hear both sides before they make a ruling. Right. Well, the same thing with the credit reporting agencies. Yeah. But they're getting away with murder, is what I want to say. And I hate to use such a drastic phrase, but the credit reporting agencies are investigating themselves. So when you send in a dispute to them, telling them, look, you violated the Fair Credit Reporting Act and one of these numerous laws, then they get to investigate themselves and then give you the results. I mean, most of the time, if I commit a crime and they let me investigate myself, you know what's going to happen?
You're going to be exonerated.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, and that's why we have to give a client 12 months and say, listen, we got to go after the credit reporting agency repetitiously and hit them with different laws in succession and say, listen, okay, you violate this law. They come back and say, no, we didn't. Okay, you violated this law. No, you didn't. And then eventually, if you stay on them, then they'll give in. But most of the time, people don't stay on these credit reporting agencies, and most people aren't familiar with the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Right. Now, I'm not against bankruptcies as well. Bankruptcies is a legal way to discharge debt, okay? Right. But it's not like it's, a judgment, a tax lien, a collection account, a late payment. These are all marks that are, in fact, yours, okay? Right. The consumers, they have to know that. If it's not your information, then file a police report because you're a victim of identity theft. So I don't want those type of clients. I want the clients that tell me, look, this is, in fact, mine. Yeah. And I said, okay, great. Then if it's in fact yours, then let's use the Fair Credit Reporting Act to have this information removed from the credit report so you can get your life back on track. Okay. And go ahead.
No, I'm with you. Okay. So, and let me just reset here. So Brandon Rhymes here. We're talking with William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician here in Tampa Bay, and longtime friend of the program. I've seen him help lots of people with their credit. A lot of times people will come to him and have different collections, disputes. They might be fresh out of a bankruptcy and say, hey, how can I get back on track? And I think that's one of the cool things about our society. It's we're founded on these Judeo-Christian beliefs where there's no debtor's prison. You don't go to prison for your debt anymore. Back in the day, maybe that was the case. Now, what you have is a opportunity to hit Control Alt Delete. Just like you can hit Control Alt Delete, get a fresh start, and then rebuild your credit. Get back into the real estate space, whatever you're looking to do. And these days, credit is so prevalent. It's everything from medical to credit cards to auto loans to you name it.
It's your life.
So it's important.
And so we strongly encourage, look, people, be fiscally responsible. Pay your bills on time, okay? Don't just when you fall into a rut, then address that as well, okay? We know that it's not intentional. Yep. Okay. So when you fall into a rut, let's refer back to the consumer laws, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, even aspects of the Uniform Commercial Code. We need to, as consumers, we need to be familiar with it. We need to quit crying victim when in reality the knowledge is right there. Access it and use this knowledge, and you find that you're really not a victim. It's just you don't have the information necessary to approach some of these issues. Right. So these laws, like I said, the Fair Credit Reporting Act came in existence in 1970. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act came around 1976, and the Uniform Commercial Code has been there forever. I think that was the 50s. But nevertheless, these are laws that we need. Jake was saying something about being proactive. We need to be proactive. Read the Fair Credit Reporting Act ahead of time. And don't be reactive, because most of us are reactive. That's why people come to me to say, oh, hey, clean me up now. And I say, okay, but here, I'm going to teach you how we do this, okay? Right. It's not. I don't have no patent on this. This is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It's public information. I'm just taking it because I have a level of expertise that's probably not familiar with, most consumers aren't familiar with, because they're busy with their own profession. Right. So I'm here saying, listen, okay, if you want to get involved with us, then we're going to teach you how to do this yourself, okay? Of course, you're going to pay me, but I'm teaching you how to do it. Everything is transparent. So, because we want everybody to know this. Here's your rights, okay? The Fair Credit Reporting Act are laws that says due process. That's what we're going after. We know it belongs to you. That's when people get confused with credit repair companies or credit restoration companies. They're saying, well, it's all mine. How can you get it off? Because we're going after the credit reporting agency, which is a third party, on due process violations.
Due process violations.
Because that's where we're getting it off.
Yeah, because they didn't check with you before they put it on the report.
And they haven't done a lot of things, okay? But the consumers aren't being proactive and saying, hey, listen, here's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You need to make sure you're following these laws before you put this information on my credit report.
Well, let's get your credit package in there, because I know over the years, man, lots of people have texted the show for your credit package, and it's changed people's lives. It's got them back on track. And William Crowley, the credit magician here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. So he has a credit package that he likes to offer here when he comes on the show. We got to limit it to the first 5 listeners who text in. We're going to give you this free credit package. It's going to teach you a lot of things, how to opt out of pre-screening, cut off some of the junk mail that's coming to your mailbox, opening you up to identity theft, and that's a huge thing we haven't talked about. Let's talk about that later in the show. But identity theft. So it's also going to help you learn how to actually get a free credit report. Every year you're entitled to these free credit reports. The best places to go for that. Also an opportunity to sit down with William and have a free consultation, talk about your credit, talk about your goals, your improvement strategy. And so let's do this for the first 5 listeners who text the word credit to our Consumer Advocate hotline. We're going to offer you this free credit package, compliments of William Crowley, the credit magician, and the credit package. So text the word credit to 813-670-7372. Text the word credit to 813-670-7372. And it's 670-REQB is the final 4 letters there. But text credit, and we're going to get you in touch with William Crowley, the credit magician. He's going to help you with this process. And, just raise your hand. It's one of those things. You don't have to be embarrassed about it. It happens to everyone. A lot of people, even our president has gone bankrupt. There's been several celebrities. 50 Cent hit bankruptcy. I mean, all these people, right? A lot of people have done it, right?
Hey, there you go.
20 years ago.
Yeah, man. So get on the right track. We'll see you right after this short break. Stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. And got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. We got a beautiful property here on the Gulf of Mexico, 1340 Gulf Boulevard, 401. Yeah, beautiful property there. That's a condo right on the beach. We actually have a broker's open tomorrow. That's going to be a broker's open. There's going to be noon to 2. We got a broker's open going on over there. 1370 Gulf Boulevard, unit number 401. It's a Bella Rosa condo. Beautiful property, gorgeously updated, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, and it's all that you're looking for in a Gulf front home. End unit, very reasonable condo fees there at beautiful property on Sand Key in Clearwater Beach. And let's jump right back into our great content. We got Jake Alexander in the house. Jake Alexander Financial. We got William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician. Matter of fact, let me plug our sponsor here. Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza. Our restaurant partner is Brio Tuscan Grill. Go say hello to the fine folks over at Brio at the International Plaza. And it's the best Italian dining experience in all of Tampa Bay. And all you have to do is mention that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and they're going to hook you up with a free appetizer over at Brio Tuscan Grill. They've got excellent calamari, beef carpaccio. They've got the flatbreads. Spicy shrimp and eggplant is to die for. Excellent food. Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, let's go back to Jake Alexander Financial. So, Jake, you were saying you want to dive deeper into one of those areas we talked about earlier?
Yeah, and it's interesting. Some of the stuff William was mentioning kind of sparked some things too. So we do a lot of IRS representation, which is where we become power of attorney on file with the IRS, and we literally become the conduit between our client then and the IRS, to where legally they can't contact them without going through us first. And so I love what you said, and I wrote it down with quotation marks. You said, we're not advocating that people don't pay their bills, right?
Right.
And so we don't, there's a lot of advertising out there of these like tax debt relief firms, and we'll settle for pennies on the dollar and all that kind of stuff. And we tell people, it's not magic. We can't make things go away that are due, but what we do, which is very similar to you, is we challenge the due process of that. And so a lot of our clients, they're not necessarily versed, which they wouldn't be on how an audit works. And so when you do get audited, it's essentially the IRS saying, prove it, right? Like, we want to see proof of these deductions that you claimed on your tax return. And when they do that, they only audit a certain section of the tax return. So a tax return is a very extensive document. If it's a business tax return, there can be 80, 90, 200 line items on there. The IRS isn't asking for proof of every single penny of every single item that was deducted. It's typically meals and entertainment is a big one that's commonly audited. Other things like marketing, advertising. There's a few sections that are a little, hotter items than others will be. And when we can prove documentation of the expenses that we claimed, a lot of times we can get them to either settle on a lower amount, or we can get it to go away completely. So, and a big part of it is penalties too. So a lot of times when taxpayers are audited, or they're in any kind of situation where they need representation, the penalties can make up a large amount of the total balance owed. And I don't want to say we're good at getting them to go away, but we're pretty good at negotiating those penalties down to lower amounts for the clients too. So
now that process, is that like an offer and compromise? Is that?
So that's one. So an audit is kind of like a multi-step process, right? And I tell people that the first step is let's figure out exactly where we are. And so a lot of times there's going to be, we go back to books and records, right? Like, let's get all your books and all your records from the year that's in question. Okay. Let's figure out exactly what the situation is. Then from there we get to where, okay, we've got to figure out what's the balance, right? So can we negotiate it to a lower amount by showing them documentation of what they're asking for? Can we possibly get some of these penalties waived to where we figure out what the issue actually is? Then from there is kind of our third step is, okay, now we have solutions in place that we can either look at an offer and compromise, which and this is what those tax firms that are advertising on the radio and late at night and all that kind of stuff, that's what they're pushing, is the offer and compromise, which I tell clients it's not a magic button where the IRS just lets you get rid of all this debt that you owe. They wouldn't do that. But if you're in a situation where, let's say you owe X, which is $50,000, and you really don't have the money in the form of an asset or income from your business or wages or whatever it may be, and we can prove that on paper with detailed financial statements, a lot of times the IRS will take something as opposed to nothing.
Right.
Now, when you do that, and these are the parts they don't tell you on the radio, is there's requirements for it too. You have to stay in compliance for 5 years with all your estimated payments and all your filings too. And so it's not a get out of jail free card, but it is an option. There's offer and compromise. There's payment plans. There's even partial payment installment plans where, hey, I know I can't pay all of it off in the time that it's actually due or when the statute is going to fall off, but they will accept different. There's options out there. That's kind of like my point for everybody is, hey, don't ignore it. Don't not open those letters and hope that everything's going to get better, because that doesn't work,
Yeah.
But get with somebody, get with a professional, somebody you can trust. If somebody's promising you something that sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Like, hey, pay me $5,000 and you won't owe them 50. A lot of times it doesn't work out that good. So
be careful for that. I think that's a real good point, is that there are some firms out there, just the same thing like you'll see with the contracting side where, the contractors during the storms, they'll come and take the deposit.
Yeah.
And you don't see them for the second half of the job, or they don't even really start. Mm-hmm. So there's firms like that in the financial industry.
Absolutely. And especially in the whole representation forum of things. And so sit down with somebody you can trust, somebody who the things that they're telling you make sense. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And the biggest thing I do with our clients is we set an expectation. We say, we gather a good understanding of what's going on and how long it's going to take to get us to our solution. So, programs like the offer and compromise, this isn't a 30-day thing. This can take 6, 9, sometimes 12 months for this stuff to actually take place. And so just having a good understanding around exactly what's going on, I think, is the most important thing.
Yeah, have a good understanding. And then sometimes also, and if you just joined us, I'm Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Jake Alexander. He's the owner, founder of Alexander Financial. Alexander.financial is the website. Now, sometimes, when you're registering businesses, you get these mailers. You get a lot of mailers that come in. And it looks just like a legitimate something you'd get from the government, but it's like, hey, you owe $150 for this fee, that fee, and then but
$480 for this
for the PO box, right?
Yep. And so if you register a business on Sunbiz, you'll get blasted with a bunch of advertisements. A majority of them are not necessary, and they're third-party companies that are giving you a document that you should have, but this document you could go print online for free yourself, and they're tacking on $175 service charge or whatever it is too. So we, starting your own business, we always recommend, we have a business attorney that we send referrals back and forth with quite often. So we always recommend they go through a business attorney just to make sure everything's done 100% correctly. You can go on Sunbiz and do it yourself if you're fairly confident with it, but majority of that stuff is not required. If you ever had a question, I would get with a professional to tell you 100% yes or no, though. Yeah,
just be careful out there. There's a lot of those online scams, the stuff that comes to your mailbox, and you just start paying it, and you're like, wow, I've heard people getting caught by that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So it does happen. Alexander Financial, right there in Largo, can help you with all of your everything from small to medium-sized businesses. Are you doing large businesses as well, Jake? Or?
Yeah, one of our biggest clients, they're out of Texas. They're fairly large companies, so there's no limit. We do everything from the smallest 1040 easy taxpayer who doesn't want to do it themselves on TurboTax up to, our largest clients are doing pretty well for themselves. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's mention, since you mentioned that, some of those online deals where you can do it yourself, what are some of the challenges, or have you heard of people, like leaving money on the table just because they didn't realize you don't know what you don't know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We just picked up a client a week or two ago who, when I originally met with him, this was months ago, was fairly confident. He had been doing his stuff the right way on TurboTax for years. And so, I'm not really in the business of selling people like, hey, don't do it your own way and come use it ours. It's like, hey, if you think you're doing it and, you ever want a second opinion, let us know. Or if we can help you, let me know. And so for whatever reason, it came around and we finally took a look, and I was like, no, there's a lot of things. I should have sold you. I should have been more proactive in telling you. Cause and it's all kinds of different stuff, whether it's depreciation of a work truck, if you're in a, construction type business, or deductions for home office. I mean, there's a lot of different things. And I think the thing I like about tax so much is every situation is so different. So there's not really like a blanket answer of who misses what. But if you're not, it's like anything. So for the gentleman, for his business of what he does, it's the equivalent of me going to his business and be like, hey, let me do this for a day and I'm going to get everything 100% right. And I'm going to, knock it out as good as you will. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. So absolutely.
Yeah. It's like, let me for sale by owner my house. It's the same thing,
I'm
right?
Sure,
Very similar. Let's throw it on a website. It's going to sell,
Exactly.
And in any profession, there's good, better, and best. And Jake, you are highly recommended in the area. We've done a lot of business together. Now, here's another thing I would recommend to our listeners out there, our viewers on our TV show, We Beam TV. Maybe you're listening on The Bone or 1380 The Biz. Now, so what I would recommend, and Jake, let me know how many years you can do this. I would recommend you reach out, get a review, and let Jake look at what your last tax preparer has done. Maybe that preparer is yourself. Maybe it's someone that you've known. Maybe it's even a family member, and there may be mistakes in there because you can go back and get money from previous years, right?
Yep, 2, sometimes 3 years. You can go back and do amendments. So absolutely.
2 to 3 years. All right, reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. We'd love to hear from you. 670-7372. Get a review. Jake Alexander, alexander.financial is the website, and you can also text REQB to 313131. Real simple way to connect. Text REQB to 313131. We'll see you right after this short break.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, powered by PlatinumMVPRealty.com. And we'd love to help you buying, selling, or investing in the real estate space. That is our game. We are the quarterback on the team, helping you, save a lot of money when it comes to these different decisions with the show here. We've got 80 plus show partners. We've got, all of the best in every industry, attorneys, all types of financial experts, real estate experts, health, nutrition, marketing, lots of ways that we can help you, but you've got to engage with us. Please engage with us. Let us help you. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. Give us a call or a text, 670-7372. That's a Tampa number, 813 area code, and consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. And let's give a shout out to Replenish IV Solutions in beautiful South Tampa. Replenish IV Solutions is going to go in. They're going to hook you up with a bag of liquid vitamins, nutrients going right into your bloodstream, straight to the organs, and you are skipping the digestive tract. So as you know, a lot of the vitamins you take orally are going to go through your whole digestive tract, your stomach, your intestine. Now go to Replenish IV Solutions right on Gandy. Say hello to Steve and Lisa Gunnan, and they are going to take care of you. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and for special incentives. Replenish IV Solutions. I love it. I go over there at least once a month and get hooked up, get the oil change. You ever get an oil change like that, will you?
I need one.
Yeah, get that oil change, man.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah, it's good. Once a month,
Wow.
once every couple of weeks.
I'm scared
go
of needles,
straight
though.
into the vitamins.
Scared of needles.
Scared of needles? Come on.
You said IV. I said, oh my goodness.
It's
big
just
needle.
a real easy, real simple, man. Real easy stuff. All right, so back here in the studio, we got Jake Alexander in the house. Alexander.financial. He's a enrolled agent with the IRS. But this, sometimes people fall into that mindset of a CPA, but a lot of the same functions. But he's licensed in 50 states. He's enrolled with the IRS in 50 states. We got William Crowley, aka the Credit Magician, here, and we were talking a little bit with William earlier about the credit side, the credit improvement, credit restoration. But I think it's we have to talk about identity theft.
Yeah.
It's such a prevalent thing.
And I got to make this good so I can get on the Saturday show. So
Get on
let
it.
me go in.
There
The
you go.
pressure's on.
Hey, but listen. First of all, identity theft, it's a big key issue, but I think it's been really taken out of proportion. The credit reporting agencies are making a huge amount of money off of these, I call it orchestrated breaches, okay? They do this. Sometimes, don't put it past them. They do this stuff on purpose sometimes so you can just buy.
man.
Right, come on, man. They do this stuff on purpose so people can go out and buy these programs from the credit reporting agencies themselves, when in fact the Fair Credit Reporting Act protects the consumers in that way. If the credit reporting agency would just follow the Fair Credit Reporting Act, we wouldn't need all this LifeLock and everything, because they're supposed to be the ones watching our credit reports in the first place, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So that's why I say it's orchestrated breaches sometimes, because these what is it? One Sears, Wells Fargo,
Target had a big one. Yep.
Right. I'm saying, well, geez, if the credit reporting agencies were telling the people the truth about it, you could put a promotional block on your credit report. A promotional block. That's part of that package. When you put a promotional block on it, it prohibits the credit reporting agencies from sending your information out. The biggest perpetrator of identity theft is the credit reporting agencies themselves, because they're taking your information, they're selling it, and they don't let you know. Look, you can put a promotional block on your credit report, and we won't market your information. And Jake was saying earlier about these online scams and all like that. Anytime you go out to do business with anybody, tell them, listen, I don't want this information sent out to a third party. Request that. And they'll have to honor it, or either you just don't do business with them. Because you don't know who they're giving this information to.
Right.
Okay. So, but back to the credit reporting agencies, they're the biggest perpetrator of identity theft. Okay. If they would just follow the Fair Credit Reporting Act, we wouldn't need all these LifeLock and all these companies that are saying that they're protecting your credit report. That's the credit reporting agency's job, is to protect your credit report.
Right.
Okay. I'm trying to get on that Saturday show. Now, the collections, okay? We talked about identity theft. Now, the collection companies are out there.
Right.
They're selling they're buying your information. I'm sorry, not selling, but they're buying your information from the lenders out there. Now, when people file bankruptcy, they file bankruptcy. Most of the people that file bankruptcy don't have to file, because the accounts are already charged off. You've already defaulted on the debt. So once the account is charged off, not only is the creditor released from any financial obligation to the debt, but the consumer is too. That's why you never hear from the original creditor anymore when they charge the debt off, because they know that they've been paid on a different way through the insurance, tax write-off, etc.
So define that word then, charged off. What does that mean?
Yeah, that means that after 90 to 180 days of inactivity on an account, non-payment on your behalf, the original creditor gets the option to charge the account off. That means that now they're protected. They don't want to carry this dead weight on their books, so they get to charge it off. And they have insurance on all these accounts, so you can say it's an insurance write-off or a tax benefit. But they have to get rid of these dead accounts. Then they turn around and sell it to collectors. I call it double dipping. They're selling this bad debt, this debt that's no longer collectible by the original creditor. They're selling it to the collector. Now, the collector's going to contact you and say, hey, listen, it's come to our attention that you owe this debt. But then it's at the very bottom of that letter that says, if you would like to dispute the validity of this debt, you may do so within 30 days.
Right.
If you don't, then we're going to assume that the debt is yours. We're going to come after you and try to collect.
Right.
But here, look at the fine print now.
Yep.
The original creditor charges it off. They will no longer contact you for the debt. They sell it to the collector,
Yep.
and the collector comes to try to collect on the debt, because the federal law doesn't prohibit the collector to do that, because they're saying it's come to our attention that you owe this debt. So they act like, does it really? They're asking you, and then you've got to respond by saying either yes, it is my debt, or issue what they call a validation of debt to those collectors. And that's what I strongly encourage people to do. Instead of filing bankruptcy, issue validation of debts to any collector out there. Okay, don't go file bankruptcy on a debt that's already charged off.
Yeah.
Issue a validation of debt, and that's going to tell them proof. Because you were saying something earlier about proof, Jake. Well, this is demanding proof from the collector. Okay, show me the original note. Show me where I did business with you. You didn't do any business with them. They just bought the debt. They have a spreadsheet in front of them, and they're calling you, and they're hoping that you acquiesce and say, hey, listen, I owe the debt, so I got to pay you.
Call their bluff, basically.
Call their bluff.
Call the bluff and find out what's happening. William Crowley, the credit magician in Tampa Bay here, he can help you improve the credit. He can help you with these different issues that come up from time to time. And it just basically, answer any questions you may have about your credit. What does a charge-off mean? What are these scores mean? How do I, access my credit? How do I improve my credit? He can help you with that. William Crowley, the credit magician. And we also are going to hear from Jake Alexander here in our lightning round. Every day we're going to tell you something positive. We're going to tell you something good here.
Tell me something good.
All right, so a man pulls over to help a stranger cut his lawn, buys him a new lawnmower. So a man who runs a lawn service company in West Virginia helped a man cut his lawn for free in the process of buying him a brand new riding mower. So on August 9th, James Johnson of J&J Lawn Service drove by a man attempting to cut his large yard with a push mower. And he's quoted as saying, on my way home, a 12-hour day of cutting lawns, I see this gentleman. I have no clue who he is to this day, but I said there's no way I was going to let this guy tackle this on his own. So I turned around and went back and unloaded my mower. I drove across the street, asked the gentleman if I could help. His eyes lit up, and I took it as a yes. I ran down, jumped on my mower, and went to work. As I'm cutting the lawn, I look over and see the gentleman hunched over his wife, resting his head on her shoulder, so I knocked it out in no time. I give him a thumbs up and proceed to load my mower up. The wife makes her way over before I could leave. She was so thankful. Their riding mower broke down, and her husband has been mowing their big lawn with the push mower. It only took 15 minutes of my time. I changed their life for a small moment. I hope someone reads this and feels like doing something good for someone tomorrow. I'm grateful to be where I'm at, and I'm thankful for the people that helped me. So I guess at some point somebody went and bought him a mower too, I guess.
Nice.
A lot of these posts go social like that. That's pretty cool.
He's got a picture of it. How'd you get that?
Yeah.
You got the picture.
Yeah, we got it on the show. We put
nice.
We put it on the screen there.
Awesome.
But
that's a big yard.
Couple minutes left. Let's hit our lightning round here.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Jake Alexander Financial.
Get with a pro, especially if you're a business owner. This Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is the biggest change to the tax code since 1987.
Nice.
There's a lot of things in there that could potentially benefit you. Whether it can or can't, at the end of the day, at least go find out. So that's my big nugget of advice to everybody.
Alexander.financial. Reach out. Get a new 20% potential savings due to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
There you go. That was good.
Good stuff. All right, William Crowley, the credit magician.
Hey. Now, I want to make that clear, okay? The credit magician. I'm the credit magician on the radio. I'm the credit man in the hood. I still perform the same services, okay? So I want you all to compare our services to any credit repair company out there. That's why I always say credit restoration versus credit repair. I do it in all 50 states as well because I'm assisting clients in cleaning up their credit. And everything is transparent. So if you're going to compare us, compare apples to apples. Don't compare apples to oranges. Our credit restoration assistance service is transparent. We love to be compared to anybody out there. Any of the competition, please take a look at what we have to offer versus what you have, and then you can probably amp up what you have if you're going to be competing with us.
Yeah, I like that. William Crowley, the credit magician, consumerqb.com. You can see all his contact information on our website at consumerqb.com. Hey, another great show. I want to thank all of our expert contributors, our team behind the scenes, all of our viewers, listeners out there of our show. Thanks so much for your support. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Twitter and Instagram, Brandon Rhymes PA on Facebook. We got the Consumer Quarterback Show pages out there as well. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. items, pack up some food or clothing, hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time.
There you go.
All right.
You've been listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 1025 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.